Yo guys, I just want to say this before you guys get into the video. Make sure you guys go check out the second channel that'll have my final mock draft on it. I forgot to say that in the video, but if you guys want to see my final NBA mock draft for what I predict every team will do, go check out the second channel, man. Love you guys. Peace. What's good, yo? Welcome back to the video. Welcome back to a brand new video. We are here. We are back with a brand new video for you guys. And we have the final NBA draft preview for the Miami Heat. We're using the Ringers draft guide as always. Make sure y'all drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below. This is the big board. So this is the big board that's created by Kevin O'Connor, Ringer. So shout out to him for that. Really good big board. I mean, I put it on the channel multiple times, so you guys can probably check it out. It's gonna be in the description, so go check that out. There's mock draft here. There's a section for team needs as well. Maybe we'll fly through that at the end if we need to. But we're gonna be talking about my favorite fits at number 15. So we're gonna have to go down a little bit because obviously guys like Stephon Castle, Donovan Clingan, Matas Buzelis, Reed Shepard, even Devin Carter, who I really like, is probably my favorite pick at number 15. He's apparently been promised a pick in the lottery. So it's all hearsay here and there, but I don't think Devin Carter will be there at 15. I think his stock has been rising a lot, and he's kind of like last year Jalen Williams, or not last year, 2 years ago when Jalen Williams was picked at 11. His stock wasn't that high, a month or two ago, but after the combine, his stock increased. Same thing with Devin Carter. Tajon Salam, probably won't be able to get. I expect him to be taken. Alex Sarr for sure. I'm not sure why he's so low on the big board of Kevin O'Connor. Risa Shea will not fall. Dalton Connect will probably not fall. Rob Dillingham, however, has been reported to have been sliding down draft boards. Now, not sure how far he's been reported to slide down, but I feel like the main concern with him is his size. He's a very undersized guard. He comes in at 6'1", but he has a very thin frame. He's very, again, not the longest wingspan by any means, only 6'3" wingspan. So because of his size, people feel like he will get hunted on the defensive end and he won't be able to take physicality in the NBA. Now, I disagree with this because I think that his skill set far supersedes anything like his size or any of that. I think you can't teach, his skill set. He can always bulk up and, get stronger, but the skill set that he possesses is absolutely second to none in this draft class. Nobody else in this draft class possesses his ability like him. And if he's there at 15, it's a no-brainer of a pick to me. I mean, just looking at his shades, I like the Lou Williams comp, but I probably will go more with Darius Garland because I like playmaking upside that he has. I think he's a very underrated playmaker. Like it says it right here, who's starting to develop as a playmaker. I like Darius Garland as a comp, even like a Kemba Walker. Lou Will is fine. I think Lou Will is his floor though. I mean, no disrespect to Lou. Lou's a really good player, but I think he will be ending up as good as Lou Will, but I think he can end up even better than him. Really good ball handler, extremely good. Pull up, stopping on a dime. Like his ability to stop on a dime, and his ability to just make sure that he's able to just get to his spots faster than everybody else. He's super shifty. Like pretty sure his handle is Rob with the shifts because he's like the shiftiest person in the whole draft. I mean, he's a really good passer as well. I think he's a really good shooter. He shot 45% from three almost. I mean, this would be a home run pick if the Heat were to draft him at 15. Now, the Heat over the years have been a team to not take the pick that everybody has been, mocking to them. Like nobody thought the Miami Heat were going to draft Jaime Jaquez last year. I mean, maybe a couple of people. I certainly didn't think so, and especially when you had guys like Cam Whitmore falling, he was kind of the no-brainer pick to take at 18. Obviously, I'm super happy with Jaime, but the Heat never take the conventional pick, so even if like a Rob Dillingham slides past 14, the Heat, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Heat just passed up on him to get the guy that they want, because they always seem to just take the player that they want rather than the best player available, which, you could disagree with. And I probably would want to take a Rob Dillingham or a Ron Holland, or we'll get to the other people who were projected to fall. But I would rather take best player available, but you cannot argue with the fact that they have drafted pretty well over the past few seasons. So I think the only miss that they really had was the Precious pick. And yeah, obviously Tyrese Maxey was the best player available then, but it has worked more often than it's not. But when it hasn't worked, it's been looking really bad because Tyrese Maxey is a fringe All-NBA player, and Precious is, barely gets minutes on the Knicks. So yeah, Rob Dillingham, he would be best player available if he fell, or one of them for sure. Nikola Topic as well is a guy who's rumored to fall. Now he's probably a pick that I think that he should take him if he's there, like unless Rob and Ron Holland are there. But um, I understand people's concerns that he's more of a project pick, but I think he brings some stuff to the table that you cannot just find in any other prospect here. Like he is undoubtedly, like, by far, I don't even think it's close. I don't even think there's a close second. I think by far he's the best playmaker in the whole draft. Um, his playmaking is unbelievable. He's very, very good with the ball in his hands. He is very, very fast, and he's able to finish at the rim. He's a very good finisher at the rim. Really good finisher at the rim. Um, the only concern that I have with him is the knee, because tore his ACL. He had an injury before that on the, I believe on the same exact knee about 5 or 6 months ago. Because I remember as soon as he transferred over from Mega to Red Star, he experienced a knee injury. So yeah, again, I'm not exactly sure where that stands. I think he will be okay for the start of the season, but that's the only kind of question mark that you have with him. But skill set, I think besides the shooting, and if you buy the shot, which I do, I think he can come around. But besides that, he has a lot of for sure things that he can tick off the box, which is his playmaking, his rebounding for her guard position at 6'6". He's a bigger guard. He'll give us some size at that position, and his ability to finish at the rim and get to his spot. So he is definitely a guy that I would take if he's at 15. I don't think Cody Williams will be there. Apparently, he's been promised someone in the top 10 is going to take him. Ron Holland, however, is probably my favorite pick. I think he is my favorite pick. I mean, he's a top 3 prospect in the class to me, and the fact that he's been mocked to fall outside the lottery is kind of baffling. I'm not really sure why Ron Holland has been falling so far in this class. I think people have concerns with the shooting, but you can always develop that, man. I mean, the Heat have always been a team that can get a guy like when you see Haywood Highsmith, who was an absolute non-shooter during the first season that he played here, and then now he shot pretty well last season. He's shooting really well, so the shooting can be developed, but you cannot teach the athleticism that he has. 6'7", really good defender as well. Like probably the best wing defender in the whole class. Now I would go as far to say outside of Alex Sarr and Ryan Dunn, he's the best defender in the entire class. So I love his defense. I love his athleticism. Yeah, I just think he's a really, really good player. He's a really good prospect. I think he possesses a lot of things that you cannot just teach. You can teach shooting. I think there has been, some concerns with his IQ or whatever, but I think all that is just nonsense. I think that's all. I think the only concern that I would have with him is his shooting, and you can easily teach that. Jared McCain has been mocked to the Heat. But as long as Tyler Hero is still on this team, I don't think it makes sense to take Jared McCain. They kind of do the same thing, except Jared McCain's about 3 inches shorter. Just pull up shooters, catch and shoot guys. I think Jared McCain has some upside to put the ball on the floor a little bit. He's shown upside as a playmaker, but when you already have a Tyler Hero on the team already, I just don't think it makes sense. It's kind of redundant taking another guy who kind of does the same stuff as Tyler Hero at 15. And I don't really see Tyler Hero being moved. I mean, I would hope that he's moved for somebody that we can get right now, but I don't see it because the Heat seem to not want to trade him for anybody. So Jared McCain, I would kind of stray away from as long as Tyler Hero is still on the team, which I think he will be. Zach Edey is a complete no for me at 15. I mean, people have mocked him over and over again. He's probably been the most mocked player to the Heat at 15. And I'm completely against this because he cannot play next to Bam Adebayo. So you're basically just drafting a backup center at 15. And I don't really think it makes sense to do that. I mean, Zach Edey is a solid player. I think he'll be a good player. He might not even be there at 15. I mean, I think the Grizzlies might have a chance to take him at 9, or the OKC Thunder might have a chance to take him at 12. But at 15, it's like, you can get a guy at 43 who's not much worse than Zach Edey, if at all, who can be your backup center. Like, you don't have to waste a pick on a backup center at 15. He's definitely not the best prospect available either. So I'm not sure. I don't think it's the best fit. I mean, he's a good interior scorer, and he's able to, be a good post presence, like it says down here. But I think his defense and rim protection is vastly overrated. I think his foot speed is way too slow. I think in Spo's defense, where they like the big to switch, and they like to switch 1 through 5, I think Zach Edey will have massive problems with doing that because he's not a switchable defender at all. So because he's 7'4" and he's super slow, he won't fit Spoelstra's style of defense. He won't. So you need to make sure that you draft somebody who will fit what you need to complement Bam Adebayo. If you want another center, which I understand why people do, I did see Udonis Haslem come out and say Bam is a power forward by nature, which I agree with. But if you want another big, he has to be able to play next to Bam. At least, even if he doesn't start with him, he has to be able to play with him at some point. The fact that Bam Adebayo and Zach Edey are both guys who are not really, 3-point shooters. I mean, Bam just started expanding his range, and I wouldn't relegate Bam to shooting threes because his best skill set is to finish at the rim and his mid-range jump shot. So the center that we draft, or the big that we were to theoretically acquire, will have to be a spacer, and Zach Edey just doesn't possess that ability, which is why I don't think he's a good fit. Ja'Kobe Walter, I don't think people are talking about Ja'Kobe Walter, but I think Ja'Kobe Walter would be a really good player, man. I think the thing about Ja'Kobe Walter is, I understand that we have Tyler Hero, we have Terry Rozier, who can kind of score the ball too. But Ja'Kobe Walter will give you a very, very good punch off the bench that not that many people in this draft possess. I mean, really, really good catch and shoot, but he can also create a shot. He reminds me of his teammate Keontae George in that sense, but he's also a really good defender as well. I like his on-ball defense, like it says. Chris Middleton comp, that's solid. He's a guy that I would watch at 15. That's definitely his range. He'll be there, I believe, at 15. Bub Carrington is probably outside of the three, Rob Dillingham, Ron Holland, Nikola Topic, the guys who are going to fall. He is probably my favorite pick, and I've been a Bub Carrington fan. I mean, if you guys have followed me on social media, Twitter, stuff like that, I've been talking about Bub Carrington since last year, October. So I've been on Bub Carrington train for a long time. Bub Carrington is a really, really, really good shot creator, man. His ability to pull up and shoot with his mid-range jump shot, his ability to play at his own pace, his playmaking ability. He's a 6'4", so he's not a small guard. A big Lou Williams, I like that comp. I think he just needs to improve his finishing at the rim. But apart from that, he has unlimited upside. Like I think he's a lock to me for a prospect. As far as talent is concerned, he is definitely a lottery talent to me. And I wouldn't be surprised if a team took him top 14. But if he's there at 15, we should seriously consider taking him. Bobby Klintman, I think Bobby Klintman might have gone back. Oh no, he's staying in the draft. I'm tripping. Isaiah Collier, another one that I would say we should get. Isaiah Collier, I like at 15. Notice I'm giving you guys a lot of guards and wings because I think you can grab a big at 43. I don't think it's worth taking a big at 15 because a lot of the bigs at 43 that you're going to see available, like an Adem Bona or also Iguodala or Jonathan Mobo if he's there. These guys, they're not that far off from the Zach Edey, the Khalil Wares. Like, they're not that far off at all. I don't think there's much of a gap, to be honest. I think apart from Alex Sarr, every other big in this draft is really, really close together. But yeah, Isaiah Collier, man, this guy, when you talk about the rim pressure that he will bring, his ability to just get to the basket, he can play make, he can, get to the basket, he can get to his spots. He's very, very fast. He's a bigger guard, so he won't get moved on defense like that. I like shooting is his big concern, but you can teach that. I really do think you can teach that shooting in Miami. Khalil Ware, I think, is a little bit of a reach at 15. I mean, I don't think he's that far off from being a top 15 talent. I think he's probably in the 20s, but again, when you have all these guys that are going to be there at 43, I wouldn't go big at 15. That's just what I wouldn't do. I think you can grab a big at 43. You already have Bam Adebayo, so it's not like you even need like a for sure center. I mean, maybe you could, if you want to get a center, you could, the one who could play next to Bam. And Khalil Ware is a guy that can theoretically play next to Bam Adebayo. The only problem is he shot it well last year, but he didn't shoot that many threes. So the shot might not be as, as transitionable as a lot of people think it is. But I think I do buy into it a little bit, but not as much as what people think, because I haven't seen him take that many. I've seen him take a few, and they've looked good. They've gone in, but again, the sample size is not big enough for me to believe that he's like an absolute, you know, stretch five ability guy. He's more of a lob threat to me. That's his biggest kind of strength. Tyler Kolek, I really like. Maybe not at 15, but I've been a huge Tyler Kolek fan. I just think that his intangibles, what he brings, like his culture, I wouldn't be surprised if the Heat drafted him at 15. This is a guy that I think, like, when you talk about a guy who fits Heat culture, he fits the bill. He definitely fits the bill. You know, very, very, really, like, just impactful player, man. Like, you will feel his impact when he's on the floor. TJ McConnell, Goran Dragic, I like that. I like those comps. Jalen Brunson's up there too. TJ McConnell is the one that I gave him because I think that's more of a realistic, like, floor comp for him. Yeah, really, really good floor. I think he averaged like 8 to 9 assists last year. Or 8 assists. Yeah, 8 assists. Shot almost 40% from three. Really good feel for the game. Like, he just really, really has that, that gene that a lot of contending teams would love. I think the Suns are even linked to taking him at 22 if he's there. So, yeah, I would love Tyler Kolek. He's a really good finisher at the rim as well. He doesn't really have any holes in his game, per se. I just think he's a really good all-around good guard, veteran. He's gonna be able to lead the second unit if he's drafted. I like this pick. Tristan Da Silva, however, is one of my favorites, man. Oh my God, like the things that this guy can do. Um, Kyle Anderson, I think Kyle Anderson is his floor. I think Kyle Anderson is his floor. I think he can be a lot better than Kyle Anderson. Again, no disrespect to Kyle, but TDS, he's got it. He has everything that you need. He can shoot, he can dribble, he can pass. I wouldn't be surprised if he's taken in the lottery. That's how good I think this kid is going to be. I think I say kid, he's 23 years old, but he's really, really good, man. I mean, this guy is, when you talk about everything he can do on the floor, he is, I think taking him would be a little bit of like taking another Jaime Jaquez, so which is why I'm not sure if the Heat will go that route, but I mean, he's one of my top 5 favorites for the Heat to draft to 15. I love his game. Terrence Shannon, I'm so happy about what happened with him. Like, he was with his off the court stuff, that all went well for him, and he is definitely a guy that I can see as a top 20 talent in this draft. As somebody who's watched him, I mean, has gone to Illinois, have watched Terrence Shannon for 2 years. I've been to almost every game. I've seen him play, man. This guy is going to be an absolute star in this. I don't want to say star, but he's going to be a really good player. Tyreek Evans is what his comp is. I would give him like a Kelly Oubre. He's left-handed, can defend, can shoot, can really, really explode and finish at the rim. I love Terrence Shannon's game. I'm not sure if I would have the Heat taking him at 15, but maybe they could trade down and get him. Not sure. Then we have some guys that I'm like, maybe they're not in the range of 15. Tyler Smith maybe is a guy that you could look at. Maybe Yves Missi. Tyler Smith is more of a fit with Bam because of his spacing ability. Johnny Furphy, if you want shooting. Kyle Filipowski, I think, would be an ideal fit next to Bam, but I think 15 is way too high for him. I think this is his range. 25 to 30 is where I would have Kyle Filipowski. I like Baylor Shireman as well. I mean, I think if he's there at 43, which I doubt it, taking him at 43 like a lefty like Joe Ingles, I really like his game. Deron Holmes, who has apparently received a promise from some team. I think Denver has been the team that a lot of people are talking about, but he would be a really good fit next to Bam as well. I'm just not sure if 15 is the spot. Jalen Tyson could be a guy that I could see the Heat just reaching and taking him because he just fits their culture. I mean, the news about Caleb Martin declining his player option most likely would probably prompt the Heat to fill in that role. And Jalen Tyson plays exactly like Caleb Martin, man. I think he would be my comp. He would definitely be my comp. Keyshawn George from the U, big point guard, but can also shoot the ball pretty well. Joe Ingles, I like Kevin Knox as well, coming out of Kentucky. At 43 though, let's get to the guys who can be second round picks. KJ Simpson is a guy that I wouldn't mind. I mean, he's a leader at the point guard position. If he's there at 43, I think he should be in consideration. I like the George Hill and Fred VanVleet comps. He's just a tad bit undersized. That's the only thing with KJ Simpson. Brian Dunn, best defender in the entire class. The best. It says it right here, the best. This guy is a generational defender, man. People are gonna say, oh, he can't shoot or he can't score, his offense is bad, but listen, when you have a guy like that at 43, you do not think twice. Like, if he's there at 43, you just close your eyes and take him, because the defense that he provides itself will give him minutes on the floor. Herb Jones only shot about 26% from three in college. And look at Herb Jones now. When you look at a guy like Jared Vanderbilt, who starts on the Lakers some games, like, these guys will get minutes because of their ability to lock people up. And Ryan Dunn is probably the best defensive prospect that I've seen in a long time, in a few years now. I don't know when the last time I've seen a defender this good is. Every aspect of his game should be defense first, because that's what he is. He's a defensive freak. Cam Spencer, just a really good shooter, like a Sam Hauser. Pat Connaughton I like as well. Adem Bona, this is a guy that, I mean, if he's there at 43, same with Jonathan Mobo. Shades of Ben Simmons if he was a hooper is funny. Yeah, both of these guys right here. Adem Bona, Jonathan Mobo. I like Mobo more, but the only thing is Mobo is a little undersized. He's more of a forward to me, but Adem Bona is more of a center. He's like 6'8", 6'9", but again, really, really good shot blocker, rebounder, hustle, athleticism. Very similar to Bam coming out of college, like with his traits and stuff like that. Not the biggest center, but can definitely be a backup for you. I like the Montrezl Harrell, Bismack Biyombo. Kevin McCullough. I mean, I'm really surprised he's this low. He is one of the sleepers of this draft. I mean, if he's there at 43, you take him. He'd be by far the best player available. Can do everything on the floor. Can defend, can shoot, can score, can pass. Well-rounded. It says right here that's really how you describe his game. Harrison Ingram is a point forward. Can shoot the ball a little bit. Yeah, I like the Grant Williams comp. Let's see who else we should go for. Oso Ighodaro, man. Oso Ighodaro. He has a lot of Bam in his game with his passing. He's a very good playmaking center. Probably the best playmaking center in this whole class at 6'9", 6'10". Versatile defensively at 43. This is a very good fit again, guys. Jalen Bridges, probably my favorite player, who is like my favorite sleeper. His 3-and-D ability is really, really good. Again, this fits like a glove. AJ Mitchell, he's a ready-made, like, yeah, Andrew Nembhard, Gabe Vincent, like that type of player. I'm not just saying Gabe Vincent because he went to UCSB, because Gabe Vincent did go to UCSB, but he plays exactly like him too. Good playmaker, can play with the ball, can play without the ball. It's a high IQ guy, veteran, versatile guard. Pelle Larsson, he's more of a kind of Christian Brown, yeah, Desmond Bain, Grayson Allen, like, can shoot the ball, but he's like one of these like pesky, like Christian Brown. It reminds me a lot of Christian Brown. Like, he's get in your face, play defense, will guard you, can also shoot. And then Keyshawn Johnson, Zion Pulliam, these guys all worked out with the Heat. I'm not sure if Jamal Shead did. I would stay away from Jamal Shead because he can't shoot at the point guard position when he's 6 feet. So that's the only problem that I have with Jamal Shead. Zion Pulliam, he's a game managing point guard. That's exactly how you describe him. Tyus Jones. Keyshawn Johnson is more of he's another 3-and-D guy to me, but can definitely finish at the rim. He's a sneaky athletic player for sure. And yeah, I mean, Tristan Newton as a veteran leader at 43 maybe. Bronny James, I'm not sure if the Heat are going to take him at 43, but Dylan Jones at 43, however, will be a nice pick as well, like a David Roddy type player. But yeah, these are basically, all the prospects I think that he should look at 15 to 43. I mean, there's a bunch. I mean, you can see, like, I'm scrolling so much because there's a lot that you could consider, but it's up to the Heat. I guess we'll see tomorrow what they do. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below, and I'll see you all later as always, man. Peace.